What is up, Stan fam? Welcome back to another video. I know it's been about 3 weeks since I've uploaded a video, probably closer to 4 now, but you know, things have been happening in my life and things have been happening in the world, as you guys already know. And pretty much to kind of give a spoiler to the end here, I'm in self-isolation for the next 14 days. And this is day 2 of 14 of that self-isolation. Voluntary, mind you, but it's something I decided to do. Now, to give you guys a little bit more context, about a week ago, a company by the name of TST Industries invited me out to Florida to pretty much hang out with their crew and to experience Bike Week 2020 and as well as the races at Daytona. Now, me being super into, you know, the brand of TST Industries and of course being into bikes in general, I said yes. And this was about a week ago exactly. So I'm recording this on a Monday, and they invited me last Monday to come out on Wednesday, which was 2 days after they had emailed me. So of course I said, yes, I'm free, fly me out. And they did. The first couple days were great. You know, I got to meet the gang at TST Industries, and I also got to, you know, see the warehouses and ride around Florida a little bit. And it was a lot of fun. But by the time Friday rolled around, mind you, Friday, Saturday, Sunday were when the races were going to happen, I heard that they weren't going to allow spectators anymore. So that pretty much meant that the only people that were allowed to be on site were the pit crews and the racers themselves. And I thought that was like a normal thing because on Friday it was just practice pretty much. Like spectators could have came, but I didn't think it too much of a big deal. But then later on in the day I realized that they're actually not letting spectators come for the whole weekend. And then at some point there were some technical difficulties with how they record lap times and all that stuff. And eventually by like 3 p.m., by that time we're probably getting to the last like 3 hours of the event on Friday, they officially announced that the races would be canceled and postponed until October due to coronavirus. That was insane to me. And you know, everybody was pissed there. Everybody had set up already, and it was like this whole thing. There was tables and tables of tools and everything you need to prep for, you know, the races and stuff. And I completely understood why everybody was so pissed. It was crazy how something that happened so far away and all the way in Wuhan, China, had now affected me. So obviously, as soon as that happened, I was like, okay, this is getting super serious now. I gotta start looking into this more. And yeah, you know, I saw a lot of posts on social media in the past weeks, maybe even month, about coronavirus. And eventually, it got to the point where on that same day, on that Friday where the event was officially canceled, Trump had announced a state of emergency, I think it was. And I was like, oh shit, I gotta get the hell out of this country. I'm hearing rumors now that Trudeau and Trump are in talks with each other and they might cancel flights going from Canada to US. And I didn't want to be stuck there. I couldn't afford to be stuck in Florida. So I was supposed to be leaving on Monday, which was March the 16th, but I decided to book an early flight home for the next day, which was Saturday. And man, guys, it was horrendous at the airport. It took me 12 hours to get home. My plane from Orlando was already delayed, and by the time I arrived in Toronto, I had a 10-minute window to get to my next gate to fly to Vancouver. And of course, I missed it. I went through the entire Toronto airport, man. Like, that place is confusing. And I had to pretty much catch the next plane. And I was lucky enough that there were seats available. And my flight was bumped to that time, which was 10:30 p.m. So by the time I got home, it already had been about 2 a.m. That was probably the worst travel experience I've ever had in my life. And then it just kind of made me think about all the people who were actually stuck, like say in the Philippines. I'm hearing a lot of stories about there's no international flights from the Philippines anymore, and they're claiming apparently that there's domestic flights, but even the people who are in Philippines are saying that there is no domestic flights. So it's getting crazy, man. And now I'm home. Everybody is urging me self-isolate, and it's a voluntary thing here. I don't really know if it's a voluntary thing, like if that's a worldwide thing, but here in Canada at least, it's a voluntary thing. So the moment you get home, you can isolate yourself, or I guess you could just go out there and live life like it's normal again. But here's the thing, I love to visit my grandparents, and they don't live too far away, about 8-minute drive. They're saying that, you know, elderly and people who are sick, have you know, past conditions, are more likely or more susceptible to mortality. And that's where it's getting so real for me now. Like that moment I arrived, I told myself, okay, I am gonna self-isolate as much as I don't want to, and it's gonna be really hard. I'm gonna do my best to stay in my house and avoid contact with my family, at least, you know, from a physical distance. So it's day 2 now, and I guess I can't really complain. I got a nice computer behind me. I can play a lot of games. I play a lot of games anyways, so at least I can find some things to pass the time. I also have a lot of content that I need to edit, and even though it would be nice to be able to go out and get some content, I kind of have to make do with what I have now and just try to really be patient and diligent about staying home. And on top of that, I guess I'm also very fortunate that I am not alone in this apartment exactly. I also have my little friend here, full throttle Hedgehog. I'm trying to get him to like 10,000 followers, but he's only at like 1,000 followers. I'd appreciate if you guys give him a follow. He is especially obedient when he knows the cameras are on him. For some reason, he just decides to stay really still, and he does a lot of like licking of his nose. See that? He's so cute. And yeah, you know, I've been keeping him company. He's been keeping me company, and it's nice having, you know, just something else here with me to pass the time. But yeah, you know, it's crazy out there, and I hope you guys are taking the proper measures to, you know, avoid contact with people. I didn't want to really believe that this whole pandemic was going to be, you know, a pandemic, but it's getting to that point now. Grocery stores are closing. They're running out of everything. You know, my gym, my climbing gym that I love to go to, it just officially announced that it's closed as well as like every other gym is closing. So many businesses are closing, and I don't really know what to make of all this yet. And I'm just kind of following along as it goes, but I'm hoping you guys are all okay out there, staying healthy, you know, wash your hands. I know you've been reading that a lot, you know, just avoid touching your face. And I'll preach it again because maybe some of you guys, there's like that small 1% chance that maybe you haven't heard of what you should be doing yet. Very unlikely, but there's a small chance. Anyways, yeah, I just wanted to let you know what's been going on. The next 12 days, I'm gonna be in my house as well. I've already stockpiled on some food. I had to go to the grocery store yesterday, unfortunately, to get some food. But other than that, I'm not going out for anything else other than, you know, the things that I need, the necessities. But yeah, I'll just be here, and if you guys want to follow along, then feel free to follow me on Instagram as well. I'll be posting, you know, small updates here and there, and hopefully I'm gonna start today or maybe tomorrow. I'll start editing my videos from like Tucson, Arizona, from Florida, and some other ones like my Insta360 video. I'll start editing those. I should really get those out. But yeah, be safe out there, guys. Peace.